Like every American president since World War II, Barack Obama will try to figure out a way to bring peace to the Middle East. It is an issue his predecessors have failed to solve. For the next 3 days, KCAL9 political reporter Dave Bryan will examine where things stand in the Middle East and why it has been such a stubborn problem.
I, Barack Hussein Obama, preserve, protect, and defend.
It's no coincidence that President Barack Obama's first foreign policy challenge is in the Middle East.
Right here.
His Middle East envoy, George Mitchell, was immediately dispatched to the region just 6 days after Mr. Obama took office. On the same day, the new president did his first sit-down TV interview with Arabiya, a network based in Dubai that serves the Middle East and competes with Jazzera. In the interview, Obama hinted there would be a new, more aggressive diplomatic approach to separate moderate Muslims from fundamentalist radicals and terrorists.
I cannot respect terrorist organizations that would kill innocent civilians, and we will hunt them down. But to the broader Muslim world, what we are going to be offering is a hand of friendship.
Hussam Ayloush, the executive director of the Council on American-Islamic Relations, Greater Los Angeles chapter, known as CAIR California, says it's an approach that moderate Muslims welcome.
It is clearly obvious that President Obama is trying to isolate the terrorists and put them in the right place. They don't represent the overwhelming majority of Muslims. And I think that has gained him trust and gained him the ability to tell them that this is, the terrorists are our enemies for both of us. America and the Americans are not your enemy, as he said clearly. And the Muslim world is not our enemy.
Former U.S. Ambassador to Israel, Martin Indyk, was the first Jew to serve as an American ambassador to Israel, representing both Presidents Clinton and George W. Bush, about which he writes in his new book, Innocent Abroad.
It's very important to understand the incredibly complex mosaic of politics in the Middle East, and not to assume that it functions like America functions.
Indyk says he expects the Obama administration to take a much more diplomatically aggressive and engaged approach in the Middle East than the outgoing Bush administration. That would include a more active role in pursuing peace negotiations between Israel and Syria, which he says President Bush missed an opportunity to do.
Bush would not engage with the Syrians in an effort to promote Israeli-Syrian peace. And the Israelis and Syrians wanted to make peace. Barack Obama needs to pick that up, and I think he will pick it up. There's one other thing which I think Barack Obama will do, which George Bush did not do, which is to try to engage Iran. That may not work.
But Israeli Consul General Jacob Dayan, who before coming to L.A. prepared a strategic plan on the feasibility of opening negotiations with Syria, says Ambassador Indyk is only partially right about Syria.
In theory, there are certain points that Ambassador Indyk is right, and I'll refer to them. But in practice, what we see today is that the Syrian regime is closely connected to the Iranians. They are supporting heavily a terrorist organization in Lebanon, Hezbollah, an organization that killed hundreds of Americans. In practice, they are heavily involved in terrorism, and they align themselves with extremists.
Most frightening to many Israelis, though, is the prospect of American engagement with Iran, even though on the record, Israeli officials like Dayan grudgingly endorse the concept with conditions.
So if Obama administration is determined to engage with Iran, but at the same time the strategy is we will never allow the Iranians to become nuclear military power, then we embrace this tactics with two hands.
Dave Bryan, KCAL9 News.
Analysts say it will be a difficult balancing act for the Obama administration, appealing to moderate Muslims on the one hand, on the other, continuing to reassure Israel that its safety and security are a top priority. And as we mentioned earlier, with the Israelis conducting their own elections today, there may well be some major changes in the leadership of that country as well.